Ladies and gentlemen, truth seekers, and anyone who still believes justice shouldn't come with a participation trophy, welcome back to the Hogwash Report. It's your host, Dr. Hogwash, and tonight we're talking about the single most refreshing policy announcement out of Washington in years. The Department of Justice just greenlit the return of the firing squad for federal executions. Yes, you heard that right. No more sleepy time cocktails, no more 20-year pharmaceutical scavenger hunts. We're going back to 5 rifles, 5 volunteers, and 1 very permanent solution. Now, before the usual suspects start clutching their pearls and calling it barbaric, let's talk cold, hard benefits. Specifically, how this move could actually deter crime instead of just politely escorting murderers out the door. Because deterrence isn't a dirty word. It's the only thing standing between civilization and the next carjacking epidemic. First off, certainty. Not maybe we'll get around to it after the 47th appeal and the 12th last-minute stay. Certainty. A firing squad is over in seconds. 1 command, 1 volley, lights out. Criminals aren't stupid. They're opportunists. They weigh risk against reward the same way you weigh whether that left lane is worth the ticket. When the punishment is swift, visible, and impossible to screw up, the math changes. Studies on death penalty states have shown that when execution is no longer a theoretical possibility, but a very real, very public deadline, homicide rates drop. Not because we suddenly hate criminals more, but because the smart ones start choosing different careers, like, I don't know, becoming TikTok influencers? Lower body count either way. Second, the fear factor. Lethal injection has been sold to us as humane, which is polite talk for looks like a hospital procedure, so nobody has to feel bad about it. Problem is, the people we're trying to deter don't watch C-SPAN. They watch the streets. A quiet gurney nap doesn't exactly scream, "This is the worst idea you'll ever have." A firing squad does. It's loud, it's final. It's the kind of thing that makes a gangbanger in a stolen car think twice before pulling the trigger. You want to deter violent crime? Make the consequence look exactly like the violence they're dishing out. Poetic, practical, and psychologically devastating to anyone still on the fence about a life of crime. Humor me for a second. Imagine the next would-be mass shooter Googling Federal Firing Squad Protocol instead of how to build a bump stock. That's not revenge. That's risk management. Third, cost and efficiency. We're spending millions right now on exotic death drugs that expire, get stuck in legal limbo, or turn into a 3-ring circus when the vein collapses. Bullets? Still cost about 20 cents a piece. 5 of them per execution is literally cheaper than the coffee I drank this morning. And the money we save? It doesn't vanish into the ether. It goes back into cops on the street, better forensics, and programs that actually prevent the next generation from picking up the gun in the first place. Deterrence plus fiscal sanity. It's like the government remembered how to do 2 things at once. Fourth, closure for victims' families. Right now, the system drags families through decades of hearings, appeals, and last-second drama while the killer sits in air-conditioned comfort watching cable. With a firing squad on the table, the sentence becomes real. The message to the victim's mother or the surviving spouse is simple. We're not going to make you relive this forever. That finality ripples outward. It tells every would-be predator that society is done playing games. And when potential criminals see that society is serious, they commit fewer crimes. It's not rocket science. It's basic human psychology dressed up in uniform and carrying rifles. And let's not pretend this is some Wild West revival. The military has used firing squads for centuries precisely because they work. Swift, reliable, and impossible to misrepresent. We're not inventing cruelty. We're dusting off a tool that was shelved because it made people uncomfortable. Well, guess what? Crime is uncomfortable. Watching your kid's funeral is uncomfortable. Paying for a killer's 3 squares and a cot for 30 years is uncomfortable. The firing squad just stops pretending otherwise. Look, I'm not here to celebrate death. I'm here to celebrate results. If bringing back the firing squad makes 1 would-be murderer put the gun down, 1 less family has to bury a loved one. one less neighborhood lives in fear, then it's worth every politically incorrect headline that follows. The DOJ didn't bring back the firing squad because they ran out of ideas. They brought it back because the old ideas stopped working. So there it is, folks. Serious policy, serious consequences, serious reduction in the kind of crime that destroys lives. The snowflakes will melt, the tough-on-crime crowd will nod, and the rest of us? We'll sleep a little easier knowing the Department of Justice finally remembered that deterrence isn't a suggestion. It's the whole damn point. This is Dr. Hogwash. Stay armed with facts, stay skeptical of nonsense, and I'll see you next time. Dr. Hogwash. Out.